Testing. Okay, this one works today. So normally the voice should be here. Let me know if you hear me clear. It should be able to hear. Hello, hello, hello. Morning, morning. I hope my mic should work. We will see how it does. We still have 5 minutes before opening, and we already have a tremendous, beautiful entry. Normally, I was not there yet. When I opened the charts, good morning. I'm here anyways. Let's share my screen. Okay. How is everybody doing today? I hope wonderful. So we take out previous week high. A bit early today. I know. I got up about 20 minutes earlier than normally. So I finished all my habits already, so it was a bit early clear. Who took the orb yesterday? I was a bit late to show my texting, but I want to show you guys my entry, what I took. So this was yesterday in the afternoon session of London. And I took it on a retracement where I normally add my position. So I went in twice. So the first time I got stopped out, and I took it a second time directly after it. So I was on a 2-minute chart, and I saw this inversion. I saw this continuation move. This was my entry, and I put it my stop a bit too tight. So I put it on the wick, and I got wicked out. That was 0.2, I believe, that I entered until I was up here, and then I entered the full position. So when I got wicked out, I re-entered it, put again the stop at the same place of that wick, and that was a full position because I saw 1 time, 2 times normally, that's it, and I took it up to the highs. So that was my trade from yesterday. Why did I stop there? Was because this high was important, and there was a fair value gap inside here that I did not want to see retracement from. So I did not take it all the way to previous week high. I just took a small trade upwards. And even on the 5-minute, you would have a very clean entry too. So the market seems to want to go without us today. It's already started. So even here you can see that was a clean retracement into a fair value gap and then a continuation away from it. So you can also take this as an entry, like you can add to a position. So I would have added here, so I take this as a clear entry too. Now this one is falling, so I believe we came in a half hour not on time today because this was a news scandal, and look, it's already rallying downwards. Somebody in the group of futures already entered, so congrats. If you saw the start of this move, I was a bit not on time yet. My schedule say I cannot trade anyways in this time zone. I need to wait until the opening. So now we have the opening. We'll start marking it out. Why did I say there was a clear entry on this one? Look at this beautiful retracement coming into a 15-minute fair value gap and then just continuing the move down.
Yeah, I see.
And if you wanted to enter on a 2 minutes, we had a displacement, we had a retracement into a fair value gap, even clean entry here, and then continuation.
Good.
Ah, nice if you took it. Great. Love to hear that. If you took that one already and you're in a profit, I would not suggest that you would trade with me today. You can watch. I would not take another trade if you already took in this one. That's a great, nice free trade of about 70, 80 points. So I believe we will go at least to this 21,377. So that would be my main target. Because there are a lot of equals here. So that would be the first big TV for me. And if you would have added, if we drop below this one, this should be my adding position. So because we have already had a nice drop down and we hit previous week high twice now, I prefer that we have a little bit more downside like yesterday. But I will take what the market gives us, because if you watch the daily, we came up and it completely rallied back down. So we were just in time out of the trade from yesterday. My TP2, my full TP did not hit, only my first TP hit. So we'll take off the highs. But if you're in this trade anywhere here, I would be very much watching how we react, because we had a lot of lows liquidity that we have been taking out. So but if you watch the hourly, we are inside a candle now. So I believe that we will at least take it to this small 1 hour FEG. And there was also a lot of similar 15-minute wicks from yesterday's orb. After yesterday's orb. But we will see what we get on today's trading zone. If we do need to go up, I will not take it higher than this part. So that would be a very small trade, because I'm then going against the bias that we are now seeing happening because we're now moving slowly downwards. We do have a huge per value gap from this 1 hour. We can still fill up. So that would be lovely to see us drop that far down. First of all, I'm not in a trade. For all the new humans in here, I'm John. Good morning, by the way. And I trade the pre-Orb London session. My bias for today is to hit the lows. Yeah, I'm setting out the orb. So this is my orb range. So this was the 8 o'clock. So this is the orb range. I will always get out for all of you. For today, if you really want to know it, if we watch weekly, I would love us to go a bit lower. We tapped now to weekly high, so halfway this weekly candle would be great to see us come. And if we do not stop halfway this candle, that means that we're going for the highs. So that means that we could go to 20,000, 22,500 and a bit, but that's maybe not in 1 week. No, it's possible in 1 week. 5%, definitely possible. So because we took an external liquidity, then I prefer us to see always go to internal liquidity to then go back to external. So my main bias, this was a strong candle from yesterday. So this 2 doji candles showed me that I want to see downside, but because of this wick coming into for value gap, I can perfectly see it going upside, even to this for value gap that's still here. There's still another one above. So we still have a big gap here. It could be get filled up before we have down movement. So I can see it go either way today. I prefer us for now to go lower so that we can fill up this gap in London session and then have retracement out of it. This is my main thought process because we came up, we swept, we took, and now we have a continuation moving downwards. And then we need to watch how we react under this low. If we react great and we have a continuation, yeah, then we can just follow up and see in each gap how we react. We have another 6 minutes until we have a range. I have gotten the question from everybody, from a few of you, that they want to see all my trades. So I will try every time that I trade to record it from now on so that you can see all my trades. I will do them live on my own YouTube channel. I'm not allowed to do it in here, but I fully understand that part. I cannot share it here, and they are streaming on WAP, so then I'm going against Ty and the founders, so I'm not doing that anyways. So I will be streaming it on my own channel so that people, if they want to see all my trades, that they can afterwards. So you have your own choice then. because I had some questions on how much are, if they are real. So I shown the payout to Ty and a friend and EC even, but I requested not to share it in public. Because it's not about money or gainings, it's about learning a skill here. So I prefer you guys to learn a skill instead of wanting to aim for the capitals of gains. It's better to have a lifetime skill for a long time than to wanting to get to the money, because I've been there wanting to have that money before, and that's not how I got it. I got it because I've learned a skill, teach myself, grow into it, and teach myself even more. This is why I'm wanting to do this for you, all of you. Not because I want to brag or show off what I make. I want to learn you guys this new skill, and that's the most important thing. My YouTube channel, if you want to know, is okay. Look, somebody shared it already. Thank you. So all remember too, I'm doing this out of my free will. I'm not getting paid to do this. So I'm just doing this because I want to help all of you become profitable and become consistent in trading, because this is the less easiest part of all. Repeating the same process over and over again without flinking, without having not a good mindset to it, just doing it constantly over and over again. And that was for me the most, I don't like the word difficult, but that was the most difficult part to get over for me. To make sure that I constantly did the same thing over and over again. Because at a certain point, it becomes boring. And then, yeah, we like to change or something, or my brain wanted to change something and do something different. But I've learned to adapt from that and just start doing the same thing over and over again and enjoying also the boring parts of trading. If you're still in this trade when it went all the way from the highs, you do not want to see it go above this candle, or I would get out. So in a minute we have a range, and then in another 5 minutes we will have seen which way the market wants to show its hand, to continue lower or have a small retracement into one of these value gaps. If we have it upwards, I don't believe I will take it. Because this is a very small range then that we have, and I think we don't even have a probability that we have a full R out of it. I'm not in a trade, just checking what we could get out of it. Well, if we get a 2.5, oh, this is still doable. Okay, maybe we can. I'm gonna get myself a drink. If anybody wants to take it, we still have another 5 minutes before we have a direction shown to us, or maybe even longer. We'll be right back. Slowly, I'm getting to my thousand subscribers. Thank you for joining. So trading can give you generational wealth if you're willing to study a little bit and to increase your skills. If you join the stream, please mute yourself. Thank you. If you want to ask something, you can always come and speak, but otherwise. So like you can see also in the 4 hours, we can see that we have way bigger up moving candles than down moving candles. So that means that the strength is still that we want to go up higher. So downwards, the lowest part that I would take it would be here. Wouldn't go much lower than that. Did not break it yet. No. So if we go lower, I need to put my stops at the highs of the fair value gap because we have a small FVG inside here. And then I take normally the top of the previous wick, but this one is a bit lower, so I just take up the highs. It's easier. If you want to be a bit more discretionary, I have a little bit more, you can put it up to this one. No, your session times is right. This is pre-orb London Xero. Yeah, I do look indeed to the 4 hour. These are 15 minutes and 4 hours stacked for value gaps just below. So I'm also looking at where the line is. There are a lot of equal 15 minutes liquidity still being stacked up there. So I want to see how, if we take it lower, that we need to displace those lows quite fast. If we do not, we could see a reaction back up to the highs or up to that for value gap just above the orb range that I created just now. So if we displace through 21,381.75, these lows here, we definitely will go at least to halfway this gap. If we do not displace through this and we have a reaction of it, the first thing that we will do is tap into this gap then, and then continue lower. So if we want to take it, I will start with a half risk, and if we displace through these lows and I see a continuation move further, I will add a full R extra into it. because we could still have an extra 49 points. Yeah, 93 points. Who took? Okay, perfect. Who took the orb yesterday? Nice. You took it to the highs, Aiden? Where did you get out, if I may ask? At the same spot where I was, at those at that fair value gap just before, and this huge gap here. Did you get out here? Same for me. I also got out around that zone. I was not sure that the highs would be hit, but because of that huge 4-hour candle, this one I knew that we were going higher, but I didn't expect us to get the weekly immediately on Mondays. So that way you can see that you can never predict how high a market or how low a market can go. So if I enter, we will have a stop of about 34 points. If you're a bit discretionary, make it 30. So 30, 60, 2 contracts is 220. So about 2 contracts that will be to take a half hour. It's not a good place for a short, but it's not a bad place either for a short. So there are better places, of course. Up here would be a way better place than down here. But you can see this like I see this where I would add to my position. So I would have added here just below. So you can add 2 ways. First of all, by the breach or with the retest to go lower to the downside. So you can do it on two ways how to add to it. So this is how I entered yesterday's my trade too. So I don't look at it at a bad place to enter. I look at this more as a continuation movement. So if we have a continuation to certain places we have more, let me explain first, we have more continuation movements than we have sideways movements. That's just the reality in trading. So we have more one way from one way to another, and inside we can have some sideways movement, but we have normally more continuation movements than sideways movements. So if we do have a drop lower, we still have a real big time to go lower. So this is still a huge gap. Okay, and London and New York session, this is a small gap, but in pre-London session, that's a big gap because we have a very small stop. And if you have a continuation movement, it's very nice to learn that you can also jump into those trades. So when the orb breached yesterday, this was the orb. I got in on the 5 minutes on this wick. I put my stop just below this candle and I let it ride just to here. And I took a 3 hour, something like that, yesterday on this trade. Instead of, I gave away 1 hour, 2 or a half hour, I gave away, and then I put it a 3 hour profit. So where I add is also a place where you can just start a new trade. So you don't have to wait always to get liquidity swept. If you've seen the liquidity being swept and you are not there yet, and you see a continuation move clearly to a direction where you want to see the next liquidity being swept, inside that range, you can also enter on a retracement of that range. And that was the same, what was happening here. If you watch on the hourly, this candle made a retracement into the 1 hour for value gap and then made a continuation move further up. So this was a perfectly great entry. On the 15-minute same, you could see we swept up, we came up, and we continued. Now, here is a bit discretionary because we don't really see any place where the market is going at this point. So here we have a little bit less nice view from where it should go, but still, if it goes lower, we have 2 fair value gaps below that, and we can perfectly get into that. Yeah, completely agree, the dark one. I believe everybody can mute everybody itself, but it's always nice if you join the chat that you mute yourself so people don't have to start looking for you. I believe too, if we breach through this one here, we will go at least almost to the low, so maybe this wick first. If we go through that, that's gonna be a huge drop for this week. But it needs liquidity to go back further up, so I prefer to see it earlier than later. It's better for my portfolio, or long-term portfolio, let me say it like that. So if we take it to the upside, I will enter with a full R and put my stops to BE very fast. I really don't like doing that, putting my stops to break even, but because we have a very small range to the upside, if you don't feel comfortable taking it, I completely understand. Because at this point, nothing is showing me that we want to go up higher. Everything shows to me that we want to go lower. So if we go up, I'm only taking it maximum to the highs here. I will be very discretional when we touch 21,463, 36. When we touch this, stops will be at BE directly, and then see what happens. Just telling you before we enter what I will do. And if we go lower, like I said, a half R, I will enter, and I will enter a full R once I see a displacement going through these equal lows, almost equal lows here.
That's that. Click, clack.
What's my Asia low at this point? We're still in Asia session. So technically, Asia low is right. Oh, at this point, it's right here. So in about 20 minutes, the other session opens. So that would be normally showing us. Need to put in my computer. Okay, so we enter. We just broken. Actually, I don't know how to do this, but I'll take it anyways. This will be very mechanical now. Because I prefer to take it lower, not higher. Once we hit this high, I'm putting stops directly to break even. If I see us come back in to this gap here and close it, I will close off 2 contracts. So if we drop below this, I will close 2 contracts. If I do see then an opportunity, if we do breach it to the lower side and we have a lower movement, I definitely will enter again and take the short instead of the long. I prefer to taking the short anyways, but I'm taking this very mechanical, so that's why I'm taking this right now too. The reason why my stop is here normally should even be lower, should be on the bottom wick completely, because we have another fair value gap of 5 minutes inside here. So if we see this, you should put your stop all the way under the last low. This is how I tested it also, and this is how it works the best. I've seen us retest per value gaps too many times where it's especially inside of the middle of the range of the orb that we could get stopped out pretty early and then it rallies to our GP. But if we get a push up in the next 10 seconds, that would be great. And I still have confidence in this trade that it could go up. I do not want us to see us hang around here too long. Do we have news today? No, really. Oh, somebody is speaking in 10 minutes. Anybody knows who this is? ECB Watch speaks. I have no idea who this is. I normally enter around $200 per trade. So a bit less than full. That's perfectly okay if you see it differently. Everybody sees trading in his own way. So if you see movements otherwise than I do and it makes you profitable, I'm very happy. The reason why I want to see some lower movement is because we swept weekly high and I want us to see us really retest this per value gap completely to take out all the liquidity that's been built up in here before we move up higher. That's what I want to see. On the long term, I see higher too. But for today, I would probably love to see us go a bit lower before we go up. But no matter what my bias is, I will take what the market gives me. So I don't really want to preset a complete bias because it doesn't help. If the market says go up, I'll go up. If the market says go down, I'll follow where the money shows me the most strength is. And how can you see strength when we have huge candles and smaller one going up? I believe there's more strength in the downside than the upside. But I agree, the bigger time frame always has the hand above the smaller time frames, but it does not mean that we cannot short in the smaller time frame. Like I said, once we get here, I'm putting my stops to BE. If we breach through it, I'll add. And now we have patience and let the market do its thing. So in trading, the only thing that we can control is our stops. That's all what we can do. We have another 10 minutes and then the market opens from London. My dog said hello. It's not a. He sounds like a puppy, but it's a German Shepherd. He's about as big as I am, so he's almost a year old now, but he still thinks he's a very small dog. Oh, nice one, Ross. What do you mean by John Pork? Like Zero? I hope I pronounced it correctly. I took off 2 contracts here. I'm okay by adding them again once we show when the hand shows clearly what direction we go. This way we preserve a lot of capital and only cost like $38. If we do get stopped, then we only give like $80 instead of 160, so that's like the half. So you get a lot more chances to re-enter the trade. That's why I'm doing this. So now we tap that 5 minutes for value gap. And also in 4 minutes we have opening of London session. The reason why I took off, first of all, my pre-announcing is that we go lower. Second of all, we've been banging against this rejection a few times. We already are in a 15-minute value gap. We swept already a high again, so I still believe that we could go lower. And the other part is also, look, if we should go high, if we should have gone higher, we should have breached a lot faster through here. So just sitting here and watching the charts is also very educational. So you can see how candles are formed. And if you feel emotions with any of these candles, how they are formed, try to understand yourself why you feel emotions or something. This can help you also in your trading, or write them down, what you felt. So if you feel them again, that you can ignore them if they were not helpful at all. Because somebody that trades markets has to have full control over his own mind and his body. People think it's an easy game, but it's really a mindset game. So if you can learn to control your mind and how you feel, you'll be one of the best traders in the world. So self-knowledge and self-control is a must in trading. So you got about 46 seconds till the market opens or the London session opens. Good evening, if it's evening with you guys. It's morning in my part of the country. Oh, in my part of the world. At this point, I'm taking pre-orb, the orb of pre-London session. So I'm taking an hour before opening market of London. So here's the opening. I do prefer shorts instead of longs. I will not touch anything in the first 5 minutes. Because the market just wants to decide what it wants to do. So if you're in a trade and you are adding to the position, I know a lot of you, if you are new to this, also never be afraid to decrease contracts if you see that the trade is not going the way you want to let it go. Yeah, so wait, I'll put it on London session. So my orb range is now the 15 minutes, so this would be my orb range. So the 7 o'clock to the 7:15, I take it. So this is the candle. I just make it a bit bigger so that I can see the wicks on both sides. No, it's a 7. The 7, it's from 7 to 7:15, so it's not the 7:15 itself. So the 7 o'clock candle of the 15 minutes is from minute 7 till 7:14:59. The 15 minutes behind is from 15 till 29 something. So the 30 minutes is the other one. So if you watch the 5 minutes, you will see that this was the opening, first, second, and this is now the 15th. So this is already another, this is from minute 14. This is from minute 15, and this is still minute 14.59. And then what was your other question that you sent it? What's the significance of taking the entry of the... Not that much. I just tested it and it came out to be a very profitable strategy. That's why I'm doing it this way. So the strategy that I did, and I tested for a full year with a $200 R collection. I believe we made above 30K or something like that for a $200. But only $200 per hour every time you take a trade. So I took them all every day of a full year. So very mechanical, and it was profitable. Very profitably. What is it? If it closes below the 5 minutes, I will close the trade when it hits my stop. So it hits my stop, I will close it. Then I'll get stopped out. I will not early close my trade. So this is why I already took off 2 contracts. I will not close it even further. This is why the stop is where it is. I don't prefer putting my... You have counted the times with the time shift, US, Europe for testing Europe. I always put it on the same time zone. So I always put it on London time, 7 a.m. Always the same. So I didn't change when daylight saving started, but I just kept doing it the same time zone on London. So London, it automatically shifts when daytime shifts. So if you keep it on one time zone, you automatically shift with it. Yeah, before I tested it, the first time I tested it on New York time zone, and then I did not remember to add it, so I retested it completely. I done it completely over again, and then I just took it on London time zone, 7 a.m. So it's always the same. But it looks like the market doesn't want to do anything at all. We're in for an hour and we're still at the same price as we started like an hour ago. So if we don't see any movement in the next 15, 20 minutes, I'll just leave it like it is. I won't even touch it because then it could be like a ranging market until the next session opens. But for everybody that's new in charting, it's very good to watch how candles are formed because you can learn a lot from it. 150 hours per annum. I'm not sure what you mean by that. I think it's about Google Sheet that I made. Oh yeah, you meant the profit that I made on a year base. Okay, I understand. Okay, sorry, need to go to the bathroom. Okay, let's take a look. If we now stay above this liquidity that we had here, I was gonna say I will re-add the contracts that I removed. And I will move my stop to here. First of all, because I don't want us to see codes under here, so we did do it. So I will add 2 more. I will put my stop halfway. So we're now in a half hour. If we breach here, and we continue moving up higher, I will re-add another half hour. So we'll add another 3 contracts to it, and then we will take it up to here. That's the farthest place that I wanted to see it to go at this point. Now, I do want us to see us move up rather fast now. If we do not, I believe this will be a sideways range, and I just make myself liquidity. So I just want to see us breach this rather fast, at least till up here. And I'm 100% sure that we will go up to the high of this fair value gap and then see if we maybe can add a little bit more to this discretionary here. I want to see now a 5-minute close above here before adding. The reason why the TP is so close today, yeah, of course, I'll explain. So first of all, we are in an hourly. We already made this fair value gap once, tapped it once. So I'm not 100% sure that we will even go above this wick again. That's why. We can move our TP up, of course, if it's possible. But if you watch that we were going lower and I was expecting lower prices, we here have a lot of stacked fair value gaps. If we breach the first and the second one, we definitely can go up higher and then maybe tap these fair value gaps up here. But I will move my take profit along the way. If we can secure more profits, I definitely will. But I want to take sure that we have profits before wanting to go higher. So because we didn't swap Asia in London session, and we are now inside 2. So if we breach this height, we will definitely go up higher. So that's why I'm 48 seconds. I will add another 3 contracts, and then I will put my stop to the high of the orb. You can move this one slowly up, so you can take profit where you want. But this is my main target that I will watch. So I'm adding another 3 contracts to it. Moving my stop. So even now, here we have 1.5 hour. Now I have a bit more than a half hour. 0.75 risk that we have now to make. If we have the tops above 2 hour, or here it's almost an hour and a half. So anybody that's in the trade, I always say discretionary. You always take profit like you feel yourself to take profit. The reason why this one, because we have then 2 fair value gaps stacked up each other, and these can be very strong. So that's why. So this is 1 hour for everybody. So that would be first TP. You can take like you want, moving it a bit up, seeing what brings us. I am putting stops to BE. I don't want to see us come back. So this is a risk-free trade now. Let's see if it brings us any higher. If we see a breach, I will just take 3 off. So this would be a 1.5 R. So you can take like you want. This would be normally my TP, like I said. I'm closing the trade. So this is a 1.2 R for me. If we do go up higher, it is like it is. Anybody that wants to stay in the trade, you can take it up to the highs, of course, if you want to. But I'm glad with the 1.2 R for the start of the day. Because I wasn't expecting a huge candle like this and the hourly. For the person that saw that we had more upsides, you were correct. Very nice watching the charts. I do learn from you guys too. A profit is always a profit, so remember that. building up your liquidity in the beginning is the most important thing. Afterwards, you can always increase your R's, size, and volume, and then make more, of course. The reason why I was a bit discretionary because there's two stacked up here, and if we don't breach this one, we could come back down. That's why. And if you want to like re-enter a trade, if you see us hit this high and we come back into one of these fair value gaps, you can like a retracement, you can enter and put your stop under a wick of a fair value gap and then continue to move further upwards. Yes, my little friend. But I'm done for this. I'm done for this session, so let's log this trade together. Very important that you do. Let me share a different screen. Orb. Orb. Long pre-session. Mindset. We go down, but that was not correct. Added one time half hour. Trust your plan always over what you see. That was a 1 hour, so I'll add 1 hour here, discretionary. Oh. So that was it for me today, guys. Happy that I could help. So it looks like it wants to go higher. So everybody that's still in it and put it at BE, take it as high as you want, or trim a bit so that you're in profit, stops to BE and let it go. If we do go higher, we could go at least to 21,514. So for the rest of the day, I wish you all a very great trading day, and I will see you all, of course, tomorrow morning. SOAR, we do this at 7 a.m. London time zone. So I start here 2 hours and a half before. Oh, sorry, 1 hour and a half before. So at 8, if you are, I don't know what time zone you are in. So an hour and a half before I started the session. For everybody in the channel. Thank you for watching. Hope you made some profits. Enjoy. I will be here this afternoon and tomorrow morning again.